So growing up, I remember watching my mother get ready for work. My mother was a professor at The Ohio State University. Woo! So each morning, she would put on a suit. Freshly pressed from the dry cleaners, her suit would hang on the bedroom door the night before to avoid a single wrinkle. Bright and early in the morning, she would delicately lift the hanger off of the bedroom door and lay her suit across the bed. She would unbutton every button on the blazer that was perfectly stitched and lift her blazer off of its hanger. She would then gently remove her skirt from the hanger clasp, and like a perfectly sequenced dance routine, she would unzip and step into her skirt as if she was stepping into her purpose. She would run the zipper of its straps, sealing in her destiny for the day. And in a rhythmic, Patti LaBelle type of way, she would swing her blazer around her shoulders and slip each arm into a sleeve. She would push a button into each designated hole, and it was almost as if she was confirming who she was. Powerful, respected, a boss. To finish off her armor of affirmation, she would do a 180 turn, sit on the bed, cross her legs, and slip on her baddest pair of patent leather pumps. My mom was ready to slay for the day as she grabbed her coach tote and walked out of the door. My senior year of high school, my counselor told me about an internship program for minority students that guaranteed a reoccurring summer internship program with a Fortune 500 company. So when I received a call for an interview, I knew what I had to do. I had to borrow one of my mother's suits. I stepped into that interview, powerful, respected, and a boss. I was accepted into the internship program. My senior year of college, when the economy was turning, and that Fortune 500 company that I spent 3 years interning with couldn't offer me a full-time job, well, I decided to explore other options. So while walking on campus one day, I saw a flyer for some program called Teach for America, and I decided to apply. When I got the email about the interview, I hung my suit on the door, just like my mom. The next morning, I stepped into that small conference room at The Ohio State University, powerful, respected, a boss. 3 months later, I sold all of my belongings, kept only what could fit in my small Ford Focus, and made the 7-hour drive to Charlotte to join the 2008 Teach for America Award. After 2 of the most amazing years of my life teaching math at the Olympic Renaissance High School, I knew I wanted to do more and impact more. I joined Teach for America staff, and a year later, I joined the Leaders, a leadership preparation program focused on developing principals to lead turnaround schools. Can you guess what I wore to the interviews? You guessed it, a suit. But the moment I stepped foot out of the classroom, my suit and its mantra was challenged. I recall giving feedback to an executive staff member about how I was deeply concerned and dissatisfied with the subtle microaggressions and hidden racism that I saw in my colleagues and our team culture. I came with examples, specific examples, things I heard, how I saw people being treated, what we tolerated versus what we addressed. The issues were very clear to me. One of my former students and I were selected to speak at a large corporate event in front of hundreds of community members and local businesses. During the rehearsal, the event planner made it a point to remind me not to wear any flashy jewelry and told my student not to wear a tie or a blazer because they wanted him to look like a student. I became a school leader at 24. I was told by other principals that you're really smart, but too young to be a principal. I even heard another principal say, do people seriously think they could be a principal after only having taught for 2 years? Hashtag shade or not. By the time I became an assistant principal, I didn't feel powerful, I didn't feel respected, and I sure as hell did not feel like a boss. My suit and its superpowers were failing me. When I would put on my suit, I actually felt empty. Feeling empty is scary, but it's the starting place for a change in perspective. Powerful. How do I define power? Respected. Whose respect am I seeking? A boss. What do I own and lead that I will never lose? The answer is self. My suit does not make me powerful, I do. At the end of the day, I seek the respect of my Creator who lives within me, and that makes me a boss. I realized my suit was a mask and a way of assimilating. My suit made an educated Black woman who was unapologetically down for the cause feel safe. It was a way of not being a threat. My suit made other people feel comfortable. But in this work of lifting the veil of low expectations and creating necessary change for my kids, I'm not trying to make other people feel comfortable. I want us to find comfort in the discomfort because that's when change happens. So I stopped caring. I stopped caring about what other people thought, and I valued my opinion of self above all else. So I chopped off my hair, and I was natural. Baby hair and an afro. And that Coach tote that I had, it was actually really uncomfortable to walk around the school building with. Who wants a big old bag under your armpit in the middle of a middle school transition? So I got a book bag. And yes, I am a type A middle school principal. When I say type A, I remember before I was named principal being told that I was going to have some moment of where I would break down. And I was like, no, that's not me. Well, I had a moment. And the moment was not on the first early release day when I got a call that one of our buses could not actually drop off at a stop because of a homicide in the neighborhood. That wasn't the day. It wasn't the day that one of my teachers walked out in the middle of second block and still has yet to return. That wasn't the day. It was actually the day that CMS upgraded its system to Microsoft 360 and all my devices last. Meaning my calendar was a mess. That was the day I was overwhelmed. So when I say type A, I'm a type A principal. But I was also a fashion major. So I love using clothes and makeup as a form of self-expression. My funky frames and my bold lip color, that's me. That's who I am. And that's what makes me feel comfortable when I do this work. So all of these things I take pride in. I take pride in them because I want my kids to have pride in themselves. I don't want the scholars of Ranson IB walking around believing that when they grow up, they have to change and they have to assimilate. seeing their principal walk around with natural hair, a bold lipstick, and J's is affirmation that their culture, my culture, and our culture is beautiful. And they don't have to change it. Because that's what makes us powerful, respected, and a boss.